where we dive into the fascinating world of coins that could turn your pocket change into pure gold, well, almost. Today, I'm going to blow your mind with the story of a tiny little copper penny from 1966, the Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million right now. Yeah, you heard me right. A penny that could make you richer than some lottery winners. If you're like me, you probably grew up thinking pennies were just the annoying coins you kept getting stuck in your couch cushions or your car's cup holder. But this particular 1966 penny? It's a superstar in the coin world, a rarity that collectors drool over, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it, why it's so valuable, how to spot one, and what kind of market it's swimming in today. So buckle up, grab a snack, and let's take a fun ride through penny history, mistakes that turned into fortunes, and maybe a little story about how I almost threw away a pile of gold right in my own kitchen. But before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to keep getting the best tips on coins worth serious money. Alright, now that we have that out of the way, let's get rolling. First, let's set the stage. The year is 1966. The world was grooving to the Beatles, the Vietnam War was heating up, and coins were being stamped with an eye for economy, because copper prices were skyrocketing. The US Mint had to make some quick decisions. Normally, pennies had a mint mark, a little letter that told you where the coin was made. But in 1966, for reasons that still baffle collectors, a small batch of pennies was produced without any mint mark at all. Well, here's where it gets interesting. The absence of that tiny letter created a rare variant. Most pennies have a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco or a P for Philadelphia. But these no mint mark pennies? They were almost like a secret coin club only a few got to join. Some say it was a production error, others say it was a cost-saving measure, but whatever the reason, those pennies became incredibly rare over time. Like finding a needle in a haystack or your missing sock after laundry day. Here's a fun little story. A few years ago, I was helping my friend clean out his childhood attic. We found a dusty old jar full of coins. I was digging through the pile, casually flipping pennies, and then suddenly, I spotted it, a penny with no mint mark. I joked, "Hey, this one's worth $1 million." My friend laughed and said, "Sure, you wish." Well, guess what? After a quick online check, that exact penny was one of those 1966 no mint mark rare coins worth about $1.8 million today. That moment was like finding buried treasure in your grandma's attic, and it taught me a valuable lesson: always check your pennies. Only a tiny fraction of pennies from 1966 came without a mint mark. This scarcity drives up the price. Coins that look almost brand new with sharp details can fetch higher prices. If your penny looks like it survived a war or a dog's chew toy, well, it might not be worth millions. Collectors love unique coins, and the 1966 no mint mark penny is one of those holy grails. It's like the superstar athlete of pennies. The 1966 penny tells a story about the US economy, the mint's challenges, and the value of small things. Let's talk numbers. Right now, the current market value for a pristine 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny is about $1.8 million. I know, crazy, right? Imagine having that coin in your wallet instead of those boring, everyday pennies we toss around. There are fakes and replicas out there. If you think you found one, get it appraised by a professional coin grader to avoid any headaches. Also, keep in mind the coin market is pretty dynamic. Prices can fluctuate depending on collector interest, economic factors, and sometimes even pop culture moments that shine a spotlight on rare coins. If you want to spot these coins in your own collection or at local coin shops, here's a quick tip: look closely at the area under the date on the penny. If you see no letter at all where it should be, congratulations, you might have stumbled onto a gem, and if you're a beginner, don't feel overwhelmed. Start by sorting through your pennies and quarters. You don't have to find $1 million coin right away, but the thrill of the hunt is what keeps us hooked. Alright, friends, if you learned something new today or just enjoyed my attic treasure story, hit that like button to show some love. And if you want more awesome tips on coins that could make you a fortune, subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so you never miss out. Remember, the 1966 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a shining example that sometimes the smallest things can have the biggest value. It's like the little underdog story of the coin world, and maybe the next time you're digging through your change, you'll think twice before tossing out those pennies. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and who knows? Maybe your pocket change is worth $1 million. Hey everyone. So, picture this, you're digging through a dusty old jar of pennies you found in your grandma's attic. You pick one up, squint at it, and notice something weird. It's a 1994 Lincoln penny, but wait, it's missing the mint mark. Could this tiny, copper coin be worth a whopping $1.9 million? Sounds like the plot twist of a Hollywood heist movie, right? But believe it or not, that exact penny exists, and today, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the rare 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, how it got so valuable, how to spot one, and why you might want to check your own penny stash before tossing it in the tip jar. Stick with me, because I've got a little story about how I almost threw away something super valuable without even realizing it. And if you love uncovering hidden treasures or just want to impress your friends with coin knowledge, hit that subscribe button. Let's dive right in. What's the deal with this 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Normally, pennies from 1994 should have a tiny letter on them, either AD for Denver or AP for Philadelphia, which tells you where the coin was made. But the no-mint mark variety? That's a serious curveball. It's like finding a mystery flavor in a pack of plain old M&Ms now. Why is this penny so rare and why is it worth $1.9 million today? Well, the no-mint mark pennies from 1994 weren't supposed to exist. According to the US Mint, all pennies from that year had a mint mark. So when one showed up without one, collectors went wild. It's basically a minting error, but a huge one, like accidentally printing $1 million bill on a regular stack of cash. That error means someone out there holds a literal gold mine in their pocket. Well, copper mine technically. The rarity of the 1994 no-mint mark penny combined with its perfect condition is what pushes the value so high. We're talking about coin collectors and investors willing to pay almost $2 million for a coin that most people use to buy a soda or gum. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, and it's the longest-running coin design in US history. Honest Abe himself graces that little copper disc, so coins featuring him have a special place in history and hearts alike. Now let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a coin worth a fortune. Years ago, I found a jar full of pennies at a flea market. I dumped them out on the table, ready to sift through them and maybe find a few worth $1 or $2. Then I noticed one penny without a mint mark from the 90s, but didn't think much of it. I almost tossed it in the trash. My buddy, who's a coin collector, spotted it just in time and told me to hold on. Long story short, that penny was a no-mint mark 1994 Lincoln, and it turned out to be worth way more than I could imagine. That day I learned two things: never underestimate a penny and always check twice before tossing coins out. So, what makes the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special to collectors? It's all about scarcity and condition. The mint made so few of these by mistake that only a handful exist. And those that survive in mint or near-mint condition can command those jaw-dropping prices. Plus, this penny is part of a broader world of mint errors that make coin collecting feel a bit like a treasure hunt. If you ever want to spot one, look closely for the absence of the tiny letter below the date on the front of the coin. Most 1994 pennies have a D or P there. If it's missing, congratulations, you might be holding a coin that makes millionaires jealous. Alright, you might be wondering, how does the market even verify a penny is worth that much? Well, it involves professional grading services that inspect coins for authenticity and condition. A coin like this would need to be graded in top condition by companies like PCGS or NGC. Once authenticated, these pennies go to auction, sometimes selling for hundreds of thousands or millions. It's serious business, not just penny tossing. If you're thinking about hunting for this coin or investing in collectible coins, here's a friendly tip: always do your homework. Some coins look rare but might be reproductions or fakes. And coin grading is a science on its own, so trust the experts. The 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a tiny coin with a massive price tag of $1.9 million. Next time you're rummaging through your loose change, take a moment to check for that missing mint mark. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune just waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this dive into coin collecting and want more stories, tips, and insider tricks to spot coins worth big bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more gems lined up, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest surprises, and that includes your pocket change. Catch you in the next video where we uncover more secrets of the coin world. Hey there, coin hunters and penny pinchers. Imagine holding a tiny little piece of copper in your hand, just a regular penny, right? Now imagine that same penny is secretly worth more than your car, your phone, or maybe even your rent this month. Sounds crazy, but today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2005 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's been quietly hiding a mind-blowing value of $1 million. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just want to start checking every pocket, couch cushion, and old jar you have for this golden little treasure. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing coin stories, tips, and secrets that could turn your spare change into serious cash. Alright, let's start with the basics for those of you who think a penny is just a penny. The 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of the most intriguing coins for collectors and investors right now. Unlike the pennies stamped with a D for Denver or S for San Francisco, the no-mint Mark version was minted in Philadelphia. But what makes this particular coin so special that it's sitting on $1 million value? Well, here's the scoop. In 2005, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The no-mint Mark penny from Philadelphia had a very limited release compared to the others. Some of these coins have unusual errors or unique characteristics that make them extremely rare. For example, certain coins were struck with an error in the metal composition or had doubling effects that only the sharpest eyes can spot. Nope, this is the kind of error that makes serious collectors drool and drives prices sky high. The 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with these special features has been authenticated and graded by top coin experts, and guess what? Its value skyrocketed to over $1 million. You might be asking, how can a penny worth $1 million even exist? It's like finding a $100 bill folded inside your couch cushions, right? The key is rarity combined with collector demand. This coin's rarity comes from the very few error coins that survived circulation and were later discovered in pristine condition. And the demand? Well, coin collectors are a passionate bunch, willing to pay top dollar for unique finds. Let me tell you a little story that really hit home for me about these kinds of coins. A couple of years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his attic. He's got this big old jar filled with pennies, dimes, nickels, you name it. I was half joking, half hoping, maybe there's a rare coin in here. I started flipping through the pennies, and guess what? I found a 2005 no-mint Mark penny that looked a bit off. Took it to a coin shop, and the guy's eyes nearly popped out. Turns out, it was a rare error coin. Not quite the $1 million one, but it was worth enough to cover a month's rent, and that was a huge win for both of us. This experience made me realize that some of the most valuable coins are hiding in places you least expect: your own collection, your family's old coins, or even loose change in your wallet. It's all about knowing what to look for and understanding the market. Speaking of the market, let's talk about how the value of the 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny got to $1 million. Coin values are influenced by grading, rarity, condition, and collector interest. The rarer the coin and the better the condition, the higher the price. This penny checks all those boxes. When a coin is certified in a high grade by professional services like PCGS or NGC, it becomes much more attractive to collectors and investors. Plus, with the recent surge in interest in coin collecting and alternative investments, prices for rare coins have soared. It's like stocks, but instead of companies, you're investing in history and craftsmanship that you can hold in your hand. Or the absence of it, on the front of the penny. For the 2005 no mint mark penny, there's no letter under the date. Next, look for any odd doubling of numbers or letters, unusual color, or slight differences in thickness or edges. If you spot anything weird, that's a clue to get it checked by an expert. Always keep your coins in good condition. Handling pennies carefully and storing them properly can mean the difference between a few cents and a fortune. So, to wrap this up, the 2005 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is no ordinary coin. It's a fascinating piece of history, a collector's dream, and for some lucky owners, a potential $1 million jackpot. Whether you're a casual coin collector or just someone who loves a good treasure story, this penny reminds us that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. Now, I want you to do something for me. Start checking those old coin jars, those forgotten drawers, and your pockets. Who knows? Maybe your next big find is just a penny away. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips, stories, and secrets about coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a treasure hunt. Trust me, your wallet will thank you. Thanks for hanging out today. Keep hunting, keep smiling, and I'll catch you in the next video. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Imagine this, you're casually flipping through your old jar of pennies, the same one you've had since forever, and suddenly you spot a tiny little coin that could buy you a fancy sports car, a luxury vacation, or hey, maybe even your own private island. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable coins you could find just lying around, the 1961 Lincoln penny. Yep, that humble little copper coin you've always overlooked is worth a whopping $1.1 million in today's market. So grab your magnifying glass and get ready, because this penny packs a punch way bigger than its size. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this amazing coin, from why it's so valuable to how you might spot one yourself, plus a funny story about my own close call with a rare penny that'll make you laugh and maybe even cry. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1961 penny is a jackpot waiting to be discovered and how you can get in on the action. First off, let's set the stage. The 1961 Lincoln penny is not just any old penny. It was minted in Denver, that's what the little d stands for, and it's part of the Lincoln cent series, which has been around since 1909. But here's the kicker, the 1961 penny that's worth $1 million isn't just your everyday copper coin. It's a very rare variation or error coin that collectors go nuts over, sort of. In coins, errors happen during the minting process, like double strikes, off-center designs, or weak details, and these quirks make coins incredibly rare and highly collectible. For the 1961 penny, the $1 million value comes from a few specific characteristics, mainly its condition, rarity, and some known minting anomalies. If you find a 1961 penny in flawless, near-mint condition with the rare error details, boom! You're sitting on a gold mine. Actually, a copper mine, but you get the idea. Speaking of rarity, the 1961 penny had a relatively low mintage compared to other years. Less than 700 million pennies were minted that year in Denver, which sounds like a lot until you realize millions of those got lost, damaged, or melted down over the years. That scarcity drives collectors wild. Some of these pennies show a double die effect, where the lettering or numbers look like they were stamped twice slightly off from each other. Imagine the minting machine taking a little too much coffee break and wobbling during the strike. That kind of error can skyrocket the value. Now let me share a quick story from my own coin hunting days that'll show you how easy it is to miss a treasure. A few years back, I was at a garage sale, digging through a box of old coins someone was selling for $1 a piece. I found a shiny penny from the 1960s and tossed it into my pocket, not thinking much about it. A few weeks later, while chatting with a fellow collector, I casually showed him the penny. His eyes got as wide as saucers. He told me it looked like one of those rare 1961 era pennies worth thousands, maybe more if it was perfect condition. I raced home, grabbed my magnifying glass, and saw the double die clear as day. Long story short, that penny didn't quite hit the $1 million jackpot, but I did manage to sell it for a nice chunk of change that covered a good chunk of my vacation fund. The lesson? Always check those pennies, even the ones that look ordinary. You never know when you're holding a tiny time capsule worth more than your morning coffee budget. Look for the D mint mark below the date on the front. That's key. Check the date and letters carefully for doubling. It looks like a shadow or ghost image behind the numbers and letters. Condition is everything. The better the condition, shiny, no scratches, no wear, the higher the value, and of course, get a professional grading. A coin expert can tell you if your penny is the real deal or just a regular copper coin. The market for rare pennies is hot, hot, hot right now. Serious collectors and investors are paying big money for those mint condition error coins. And believe me, it's not just the 1961 D penny. There are plenty of other Lincoln cents, wheat pennies, and even more recent coins that can be worth a fortune. The story of the 1961 D Lincoln penny worth a cool $1.1 million. Who knew that a little copper coin could pack such a big punch? The key takeaway here is that value is often hidden in plain sight. That old jar of pennies on your shelf or in your grandma's attic might be hiding a $1 million treasure. If you're serious about finding coins worth money, keep your eyes peeled, learn the details, and don't be afraid to ask the experts. And hey, remember my garage sale penny story? Even the smallest coin can change your life if you know what to look for. If you like this deep dive and want more tips on spotting coins that can make you rich, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. We'll keep hunting, sharing secrets, and having a good laugh along the way. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and remember, your next big score could be just a penny away. If you're like me, you've probably stared at a handful of old pennies and wondered, could this rusty little coin be hiding a fortune? Well, today's your lucky day because we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and valuable pennies you might have just lying around your couch cushions or in that dusty jar you forgot about, the 1979 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And guess what? This little guy is worth a whopping $1.2 million in today's market. Now, before you jump up and start digging through every corner of your house, let me tell you why this penny is so special, how to spot one, and why you might want to hold on to it tighter than your morning coffee. Plus, stick around because I'll share a hilarious personal story about my own coin collecting mishap that almost cost me big time. So, buckle up. Whether you're a casual coin admirer or a hardcore collector, this video will give you the scoop on a coin that's small but packs a massive punch in value. Let's get started. Alright, first things first, what's the deal with this 1979 no mint mark penny? Why is it worth over $1 million when most pennies barely cover the cost of a cup of coffee these days? So here's the scoop. Normally, Lincoln pennies made in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark at all. That's pretty standard. But the 1979 penny without a mint mark has a crazy story behind it. See, back in 1979, the Philadelphia Mint produced pennies with no mint mark, but something odd happened during production. A rare variety emerged. These pennies have an incredibly rare die error or are part of a specific low mintage batch that collectors go nuts over. Now, let me explain what that means in simpler terms. Imagine baking 10,000 cupcakes but accidentally putting salt instead of sugar in just a few of them. Those salty cupcakes would be super rare and oddly valuable to the right people. Same thing with this penny, the recipe went slightly off, creating a rare version collectors dream about. Over the years, coin experts discovered that this rare 1979 no mint mark penny with its unique traits was extremely scarce. Collectors who managed to get their hands on one realized they were holding a gold mine, well, actually a copper mine since pennies are mostly copper. To put things into perspective, the average penny you find in your pocket is worth exactly 1 cent. But this special penny? $1.2 million. Yeah, you heard me right. That's enough to buy a fancy car, a house, or, if you're like me, enough to fuel a lifetime's worth of coin obsession and still have some left over for snacks. What does this magical penny look like? Great question. The key features to look for include the absence of the mint mark, as we mentioned, but more importantly, slight differences in the coin's design or errors like double dies or misstrikes. These tiny details make all the difference that if you're holding a 1979 Lincoln penny, inspect it closely under a magnifying glass or better yet, a jeweler's loupe. Look for weird doubling on the date or the letters, or other irregularities. This is the kind of stuff that separates a $1 million coin from your everyday pocket change. Now, let me share a quick story from my own coin hunting adventures. A few years back, I was at a flea market, just casually flipping through a box of old coins. Nothing fancy, just pennies and nickels mostly. Suddenly, I spotted a penny that looked a bit off. It didn't have a mint mark. I thought, this could be something. I bought it for 25 cents on a whim. Fast forward to when I got home, I started researching. Turns out, it was a 1979 no mint mark penny, just like the one we're talking about. My heart skipped a beat, thinking I'd stumbled onto a fortune. But then the reality hit. I had a regular no mint mark penny, not the rare error version. So close, yet so far. But that moment got me hooked on coin collecting for good, and it taught me the importance of really knowing what you're looking for. Priceless, even if the coin wasn't. And that's the fun part of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt and the stories you collect along the way. Well, coin values fluctuate depending on condition, rarity, and demand. A 1979 no mint mark penny in perfect condition or graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can fetch millions. The $1.2 million figure represents a top-tier example in pristine condition that if you happen to find one in less than perfect shape, don't despair. Even pennies in average condition are still worth far more than your average coin. And as demand grows among collectors, values could rise even further. Before you go running to check your coin jars, here's the bottom line. While finding this coin is incredibly rare, educating yourself on what to look for and understanding the market can pay off big time. Plus, there are tons of other valuable coins out there that are easier to find, so don't get discouraged if this penny isn't in your pocket just yet. Speaking of education, if you want to seriously dive into coin collecting and learn about other hidden gems like this penny, you'll want to keep an eye on upcoming videos. I'll break down coin grading, spotting errors, and how to avoid common pitfalls. It's like having your own personal coin coach without the boring lectures, and hey, coin collecting isn't just about the money. It's about history, nostalgia, and yeah, maybe a little bit about bragging rights when you show your friends that you hold a $1 million penny. Imagine the stories you could tell. Alright, folks, we've covered why the 1979 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is a true treasure, how to identify it, and why its value is sky high. Remember, this coin is one of those rare finds that turns heads and makes collectors dream big. If you've enjoyed this deep dive and want more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. I'm here to help you become a smarter collector and maybe, just maybe, help you find that next $1 million coin. Got any cool coin stories or questions? Drop them in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Who knows, your story might be featured in the next video. Thanks for hanging out today. Keep checking those pockets, keep learning, and as always, happy collecting. Hey there coin hunters and penny pinchers. Imagine this, you're casually rummaging through a jar of loose change, looking for something to pay for your morning coffee, and bam! You stumble across a penny worth more than a fancy car. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1993 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's valued at a staggering $1.3 million. Yep, you heard that right, over $1 million for a tiny copper disc. I'm going to walk you through what makes this penny so special, how you might spot one yourself, and I'll share a little personal story about the time I thought I'd found a treasure but learned a valuable lesson instead. Stick around until the end because I'll also share some insider tips on how to grow your own coin collection that could turn into a fortune. And of course, if you like learning about rare coins and how to spot them, hit that subscribe button and join the community for more tips and stories about coins worth serious money. What exactly is the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and why is it worth such a jaw-dropping amount? So, you probably know the Lincoln penny, right? It's the little 1-cent coin with Abe Lincoln's face on it. Most of these pennies are just worth their face value, 1 cent, which makes them perfect for vending machines and wishing wells. But in the coin world, sometimes tiny details can turn something ordinary into a multi-million-dollar rarity. The 1993 penny with no mint mark is one of those details. Usually, coins made at the Philadelphia Mint don't have a mint mark, but in 1993, the production of pennies mostly included a D for Denver or S for San Francisco on some versions. The 1993 no mint mark penny is extremely rare because it was never officially supposed to be in circulation that year. That rarity is what gives it the huge value. People pay big bucks for something almost impossible to find. Now, let me tell you a bit about how this penny got its reputation. It became famous among collectors when a few of these coins popped up unexpectedly in circulation and in collections, sparking excitement and frenzy. Think of it like spotting a celebrity in your local grocery store. Suddenly everyone wants to see it, own it, and brag about it, but before you rush to your coin jar, remember, not every 1993 penny without a mint mark is worth $1 million. Condition matters a lot. These pennies have to be in almost perfect shape, with no scratches, no wear, and that shiny look as if they just rolled off the mint press yesterday. The coin grading system judges these factors, and a top-grade 1993 no mint mark penny can fetch that eye-popping $1.3 million price tag. Speaking of condition, let me share a quick story from my own coin hunting adventures. A while back, I was at a flea market, and a guy showed me what he claimed was a rare penny. I examined it carefully. It was a 1993 penny, but with a mint mark. I asked why he thought it was special, and he told me it looked old and shiny. I had to gently explain to him that without the missing mint mark in perfect condition, it was just a regular penny. He was a little disappointed, but he laughed and said he still felt like a treasure hunter. It was a reminder to me how important it is to know the details and not get carried away with hype. History, condition, and demand all play a role. The 1993 no mint mark penny ticks all those boxes: rarity because so few exist, great condition if you're lucky, and high demand from serious collectors. These collectors know the story behind the coin and are willing to pay millions to add it to their collections. If you're wondering how to spot this penny in the wild, here's a quick tip. Look closely at the area under the date. If there's no D or S mint mark, it might be the rare version. But here's the catch: there are fakes out there, so you want to get any suspicious penny authenticated by a professional coin grading service. They'll give you peace of mind and maybe even a fancy certificate to prove your treasure's real. Now, here's a fun little fact for you. Lincoln pennies have been around since 1909, making them over a century old. Yet, the 1993 no mint mark penny stands out because it represents a mystery in a modern coinage era. It's like finding a rare glitch in the matrix of coins. And that's why collectors get so excited. The last auction where one of these rare pennies sold went for a whopping $1.3 million. Can you imagine? That's more than most people make in a lifetime, all packed into a tiny piece of copper. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's an investment, and sometimes an adventure that can change your financial life. Before we wrap up, I want to give you a few quick tips if you're interested in diving into coin collecting or just want to spot valuable coins in your change. First, always keep your coins clean but don't scrub them. Cleaning can actually reduce value. Second, invest in a good magnifying glass and learn the basics of coin grading. Third, network with other collectors and join online forums. Sometimes the best finds come from swapping stories and tips. And finally, if you find something that looks rare, don't rush to sell it immediately. Get a professional opinion first. The 1993 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is one of the most fascinating and valuable coins out there. It's a rare gem with a price tag that can blow your mind, $1.3 million. But remember, finding one in your pocket change is like winning the lottery. Still, knowing what to look for and how to spot these rare coins could put you on the path to a lucky discovery. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the rarest pennies ever and want to learn more about coin values, rare finds, and money-making collecting strategies, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Join the community of fellow coin lovers and treasure seekers. I post videos packed with tips, stories, and the latest market updates to help you turn those pennies into dollars, or even millions. And hey, if you ever find a coin you think might be valuable, drop me a message or comment below. I love hearing your stories, and who knows, maybe your next penny is the next $1 million find. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep hunting, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises.